Thank you for downloading the Radio 2 Art Show podcast with me, Jonathan Ross. On this week's show, we were live from New York and I chatted to Komnata, one of the very successful Escape the Room organisers here in New York City. We had on some of the biggest stars from the biggest show in New York. I'm not sure whether or not you would agree with me that this necessarily comes under the umbrella threshold of art, the topics we're going to discuss now, but certainly I don't think anyone could deny there's a great deal of art involved in the creation of these pursuits. I'm joined by Brett Watson, or welcome Brett, and Ekaterina Bykova from Komnata Quest. Ekaterina, lovely to have you here. And you're both, it's a very different thing you both do, but they're similar in a way because they're a participatory performance piece involving those taking part as well as people who are guiding them through it. Ekaterina, sorry, let's go to you. Now, you're from Russia originally, is that right?
Yes, I am.
From Russia. Komnata Quest, the company that you're involved with, they're also from Russia.
Yeah, it's a Russian franchise.
And Komnata means room, doesn't it?
Komnata means room in
So
Russian.
these are escape the room events that you're involved in, I guess. How did you get involved with it? Were you involved in the inception, or did you join after they were already out there?
I joined after. I actually tried to play the game myself, and I fall in love with it, and I decided that I'm going to keep building them in the United States.
Now, there's some very strange ones that you offer. Once again, we're back to Brooklyn. I don't know why we're in Manhattan. It's all happening in Brooklyn. But the two that I took part in, and I've been in many of these Escape the Room events over the years, but the one in particular was, I've never seen anything like it. How would you, the one where we're locked with the masks on the head, and what's that called, and how do you explain that?
The box stop. Well, so technically we lock you in two different boxes and you're not allowed to communicate with one another, and the only way for you to get out is by helping each other.
So you're in essentially a coffin.
Exactly.
Handcuffed.
Yes.
With a bag over your head.
Yes.
And this is fun.
People loving it.
It was great fun. Although I know you were very kind with us, but I kind of cheated, didn't I?
With your cigarette.
Yeah, I've got my electronic vape cigar with me, and when you inhale on this thing, it lights up at the end, and you're not meant to have anything. I'll admit, it's a low move, I know, but I was using it as a torch. But anyway, we got out. How many people do escape, and how many people get trapped in these things? I mean, not that you leave them there forever, but how many people do not make it through?
It's usually about 80% people that get out, and we try to help them to get out because that's the whole point, but a lot of people stay, but we don't keep them there.
Yeah, which is just as well. The other one that we went to, I know you offer several at the site here, but the other one was a very, very dark, quite scary, in actual fact, murder mystery trial. Now, does that exist as is in Russia, or is that something created just for the American audience?
Yes, that exists in Russia already.
And what is it, do you think, about the Russians that they like that kind of darkness? It does seem to me that is particularly Slavic in nature.
Well, usually the scariest games, they're the most popular ones because people like the adrenaline. And they just like the atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of atmosphere. I mean, do you ever fear that it's gone too far? Do you have people who bail out because they get too scared?
Yes, we had some. But we usually tell them in the beginning of the game what's going to happen in there, and it's going to be dark in there, so they know, and if they're not claustrophobic, so we usually ask them any questions before we put them in there.
And these are pretty popular now. I mean, both the things you do. I know, but there are people setting up similar things, have obviously been influenced by you, and certainly Escape the Room is all over the world now. Why do you think, what is it that people are finding in this that they didn't get in other conventional forms of entertainment? What do they most enjoy about it, do you think?
I think that people got pretty much bored with everything else that's going on right now because they've done everything else so many times, and we don't, even in New York City we have so many things that's going on, but it's nothing new.
Yeah.
So I feel like for people it's something new that they want to try, and the experience, atmosphere, and I think it's something that you can also do with your brain, not just going to the bar or just going to a gallery.
Yeah. It's like
a challenge.
It's more participatory, though, and it's kind of immersive, I guess. And so is your stuff, Brett. I mean, because once you're in it, you're working against the clock, but you time it pretty tightly. I mean, it's quite hard to finish it if you're wasting time, isn't it? You certainly do know you've done something, though, afterwards, I think. You certainly feel like you've moved. I mean, partly, maybe, in your case, Ekaterina, it's the adrenaline that kicks in. Okay, so I'm here with Ekaterina Bykova. Is it Bykova or Bykova?
Bykova.
Bykova from Komnata Quest, and you can find out all about the Komnata Quest on their website, which is komnataquest.com. Now, Ekaterina, there are several escape the room kind of things you offer at your site in Brooklyn. One of them is more adult in nature, isn't it? It's kind of a sexy or erotic themed thing.
Yes, that's another very unique room that we have. It's only 21 and up. So we cannot have any kids there. So basically, the idea of this room, you're being trapped in a sex hotel with all the fun games in there, and
it sounds like a nightmare. I'll be honest. At my age, the last place I want to get trapped is in a sex hotel.
Well, it's this is the funny game, and people actually laugh a lot. You know,
Yeah.
like especially like if the girls come, girls only, guys only. You know, like mix of friends. But it's only fun if you believe like if you come in to play with your friends.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you don't want to be in there. You don't want to be locked in a sex hotel with strangers.
Well, obviously not
Although I'm sure they'd become friends.
afterwards.
And Ekaterina, of your rooms and of your things, if people come over and they can get to Brooklyn to Komnata Quest, which one would you recommend they start with?
Honestly, every single room is very unique, so it's very hard to tell because people have different taste. So some people like scary games. Me personally, I don't, so I would like to go into more funny one.
So you'd go in the sex hotel?
Probably. But a lot of people, I would say in New York City, people like the scary game, which is the murder mystery. I would say it's one of
Yeah.
our popular games. And right now, since the box stop been open up, it's very popular game if you want to come as a couple.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard for people to get a group of 3 to 5 people.
Well, I was right. I did the locked in a boxing with my wife, and you do think, okay, this is going to be a test of the relationship as much. I imagine it's probably not a great first date for people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you ever been locked in a box?
No thanks.
Would you not do it, Brett?
It doesn't sound fun. But
It
you
is
say
fun.
It was fun.
It's
okay.
great fun, but it
All
is
right.
if you are remotely claustrophobic. I mean, even though it's a largish box, I mean, there's a bit of space in the box, but you obviously would feel that you're trapped somewhere. So if you felt that way, then you shouldn't do it. But if you don't, I think you would have a good time.
How long are you in this box?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Wow.
So you tempted now?
Can I start at the sex hotel?
We can put you in a box in the sex hotel if you want. Then
Now
you got
you're
the
talking.
then you got the best. Yeah, but then all the fun's happening outside.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. What's
By the way,
next
we
for
have
you?
a naked art hunt at the Met. So once you do the sex hotel, you can do naked at
Well,
the Met.
usually we have
Yeah.
about 85%.
But it's not a competition. You don't have to kind of outsex Katerina here. You don't
It's
have
a
to.
game, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah. Okay. And what about you? Your company already are in parts of Europe. I know.
Yes, we have 89 locations all over Russia, Europe, and we have 2 locations in the United States, and we're opening another one in New York
But
in a
none
few months.
Any in the United Kingdom yet?
No, none.
Okay, well, that's something to shoot for. Guys, great speaking to you. I've thoroughly enjoyed taking part in both the various pursuits that you offer, so thank you so much,
you.
and thank you for coming in and
Thank you
telling
very
us all
much.
about them. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.